The 1980s were supposed to be the slow era of American cars because of emissions regulations, heavy safety bumpers, and fuel crises. If you ask most automotive historians, they will tell you this was the Malaise Era, a decade when performance died and American roads were filled with underpowered, oversized land yachts. But despite that reputation, a handful of American luxury cars secretly carried powerful V8 engines capable of shocking speed. These were the sleepers, the velvet-lined cruisers that packed hidden muscle under their elongated hoods. One of these luxury sedans could quietly outrun sports cars of its time. Another hit a performance engine that most buyers never realized they were driving. And the #1 car on this list shocked critics and proved American luxury could still dominate the highway. Today, we are counting down the fastest, most powerful luxury cars of the 1980s. These are the forgotten legends of silent speed and hidden V8 power. By the time we reach #1, you'll see the forgotten luxury machine that combined comfort, elegance, and shocking V8 power in a way almost nobody remembers today. Number 8. 1981 Chrysler Imperial. Stepping into the countdown, we start with a car that defined absolute opulence. The 1981 Chrysler Imperial, produced by the Chrysler Corporation, was designed to be the ultimate personal luxury coupe. Underneath its incredibly long hood sat a 318 cubic inch 5.2-liter V8 engine, equipped with a highly advanced electronic fuel injection system. While its 140 horsepower might sound modest today, it generated a robust 240 pound-feet of torque, giving this heavy cruiser a surprisingly swift and completely silent wave of passing power on the highway. Inside, the Imperial was a rolling palace. It featured Mark Cross leather seats that felt like living room recliners, a futuristic digital dashboard, and genuine Cartier crystal emblems. Historically, this car was Lee Iacocca's desperate, magnificent gamble to save Chrysler's prestige and challenge the Cadillac Eldorado. It was famously marketed with the help of Frank Sinatra. However, it remains a forgotten legend today, primarily because its highly complex fuel injection system proved dangerously unreliable, forcing many dealers to retrofit them with standard carburetors. Most of these beautiful machines quietly disappeared into junkyards. But while this luxury cruiser was surprisingly quick, the machine waiting at #7 pushed the boundaries even further, and most people today have completely forgotten it existed. Number 7. 1980 Cadillac Seville. When the 1980 Cadillac Seville hit the showroom floors, its razor-edged slant-back styling divided the nation. Produced by General Motors, this luxury sedan looked like an English Rolls-Royce from the front and a classic 1930s gangster car from the rear. But what truly mattered was the powerhouse hidden beneath the sheet metal. Before Cadillac ruined its reputation with the disastrous V8-64 engine in 1981, the 1980 Seville offered an incredibly robust 5.7-liter, 350 cubic inch Oldsmobile V8 with electronic fuel injection. Generating 160 horsepower and massive low-end torque, this heavy sedan could launch from a dead stop with enough force to quietly outrun entry-level sports cars of its time. The Seville was packed with premium luxury, offering thick carpeting, automatic climate control, and an air-leveling suspension that made 80 miles per hour feel like sitting still. Historically, it was a bold statement of American wealth. Yet, because the Seville's reputation was heavily damaged by the unreliable engines introduced in the years immediately following 1980, this specific, powerful first-year model has been tragically underrated and erased from the memory of modern car enthusiasts. But things get even more interesting as we transition into our next vehicle, a massive sedan that hid its muscular secret in plain sight. Number 6. 1989 Cadillac Brougham 5.7. At first glance, the 1989 Cadillac Brougham looks like the slowest car on earth. It was a massive, blocky, traditional rear-wheel drive luxury sedan that measured nearly 19 feet long.
However, General Motors offered a secret weapon for this specific model year, an optional 5.7-liter 350 cubic inch Oldsmobile V8 with heavy-duty performance capabilities. This power plant produced 175 horsepower, but more importantly, a staggering 295 pound-feet of torque. This hidden engine option transformed the traditional grandfather mobile into a highway locomotive. The Brougham retained all its classic luxury features, including tufted pillow-top velour seats, a vinyl roof, and suspension so soft it felt like floating on a cloud. With the 5.7-liter V8, the Brougham effortlessly devoured miles, offering performance that most buyers never realized they were driving. Historically, this engine was intended for heavy-duty towing and livery package, but a few lucky civilian buyers snagged it. Today, this massive sedan is largely forgotten because it looked identical to its drastically underpowered standard engine siblings, hiding its impressive V8 torque from the history books. And the next car shocked critics by proving that personal luxury didn't have to mean sacrificing a racing pedigree. Number 5. 1986 Pontiac Grand Prix 2+2. By the mid-1980s, the personal luxury car market was booming, but Pontiac decided to inject pure NASCAR adrenaline into their luxury lineup. The 1986 Pontiac Grand Prix 2+2, built by General Motors, was an aerodynamic homologation special designed specifically to win on the high-speed oval tracks. Underneath the hood sat a 5.0-liter 305 cubic inch high-output V8, pushing 165 horsepower. Despite its aerodynamic fiberglass nose and massive bubble rear glass designed for stock car racing, the interior was pure 1980s American luxury. It featured deeply contoured bucket seats, a premium Delco sound system, power windows, and genuine wood grain trim. This car could comfortably cruise at high speeds with total stability, offering a 0 to 60 time in the mid-8-second range, which was remarkably fast for a heavy luxury coupe of the era. Historically, it was created strictly to make Richard Petty competitive in NASCAR. Because only 1,225 of these luxury hybrids were ever built, the Grand Prix 2+2 has faded into total obscurity, remembered only by die-hard racing historians. And the luxury machine coming up next completely changed expectations, this time with a deep rumble of traditional muscle.
Number 4. 1983 Hurst Olds. In 1983, the Oldsmobile division of General Motors celebrated the 15th anniversary of their legendary partnership with Hurst Performance, resulting in the 1983 Hurst Olds. Based entirely on the luxurious Cutlass Supreme body, this sinister black and silver coupe hit a heavily tuned 5-liter 307 cubic inch high-output V8 engine that delivered 180 horsepower. What made this car so incredible was the juxtaposition of deep comfort and raw aggression. Inside, buyers sank into plush, dark burgundy crushed velour seats, surrounded by sound-deadening insulation and luxury power features. But sitting right in the center console was a set of Hurst lightning rod shifters, 3 distinct gear levers that allowed the driver to manually upshift the automatic transmission like a drag racer. With a 0 to 60 time of around 8.5 seconds, it was a stoplight brawler in a gentleman's suit. Historically, it was the last gasp of the classic American luxury muscle era. Today, it remains highly underrated, often dismissed simply as an appearance package by those who never experienced its roaring V8 hidden beneath its luxurious shell. But the real surprise is still ahead, because the next car attempted to rewrite the rules of global automotive luxury entirely. Number 3. 1989 Cadillac Allanté. Cadillac was tired of losing rich buyers to Mercedes-Benz, so they created something completely radical. The 1989 Cadillac Allanté was a 2-seat ultra-luxury roadster produced by General Motors, but its body was designed and manufactured in Italy by the legendary design house Pininfarina. The completed bodies were then loaded onto specially equipped Boeing 747s and flown to Detroit to be fitted with the drivetrain.
For 1989, Cadillac equipped the Allanté with a new 4.5-liter tuned V8 engine, pushing a highly impressive 200 horsepower. This completely transformed the car. The Allanté could now sprint from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 7.9 seconds and reach a top speed of 125 miles per hour. It featured true world-class luxury, including digital instrumentation, Recaro-designed leather bucket seats, and a premium symphony sound system. Historically, the Allanté Air Bridge was the longest assembly line in automotive history. Unfortunately, its astronomical price tag alienated traditional buyers, and it became a catastrophic financial failure. Today, the Allanté is a forgotten legend, completely overlooked by collectors who have no idea how incredibly fast and smooth the 4.5-liter V8 models actually were. And number 1 might be the most unexpected car on this entire list. Before we unveil the final crown jewel of 1980s speed, we look at a car that brought stealthy muscle to the country club. Number 2, 1988 Mercury Cougar XR-7. The 1988 Mercury Cougar XR-7, built by the Ford Motor Company, was the absolute peak of aerodynamic personal luxury. While standard Cougars were bought by retirees, the XR-7 secretly borrowed its heavily revised chassis from the legendary Fox body Mustang. Under its long, sloping hood rested a fuel-injected 5-liter V8 engine pushing 155 horsepower and a massive 265 pound-feet of torque. With its swept-back roofline and aerodynamic profile, the XR-7 cut through the wind silently. Inside, it featured heavily bolstered articulated sports seats, an optional fully electronic digital dashboard, and plush carpeting that rivaled high-end limousines. It was a gentleman's expressive that could easily bury the speedometer on the highway. Historically, the Cougar XR-7 was vital in establishing the aerodynamic styling revolution that saved the Ford Motor Company in the 1980s. Yet today, because the Mustang gets all the Fox body glory, the luxurious V8 Cougar XR-7 has been entirely forgotten, left to rust in the shadow of its more famous racing brother. But even with its Mustang DNA, the Cougar couldn't match the raw, unapologetic force of the number 1 car on our list. Number 1, 1989 Lincoln Mark 7 LSC. Here it is, the reigning king of 1980s American luxury performance, the 1989 Lincoln Mark 7 LSC, which stood for Luxury Sports Coupe. Produced by the Ford Motor Company, this was the car that fundamentally changed what an American luxury vehicle could be. Underneath its European-inspired aerodynamic hood sat the exact same engine found in the legendary Mustang GT, a 5-liter high-output V8 generating a massive 225 horsepower and 300 pound-feet of torque. This wasn't just a plush cruiser, it was a luxury rocket ship. The Mark 7 LSC could blast from 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 7.5 seconds and reach a top speed of 130 miles per hour, allowing it to confidently run alongside high-end BMWs and Mercedes coupes on the highway. The performance was shocking, but the luxury was unparalleled. The LSC featured a highly advanced 4-wheel electronic air suspension system that kept the car perfectly level during aggressive cornering. Inside, the driver was treated to perforated leather sports seats with power pneumatic bolsters, a premium JBL audio system, real wood accents, and an auto-dimming rear-view mirror. Historically, the Mark 7 LSC was a revelation. Automotive critics who had written off American luxury as sloppy and slow were absolutely stunned by the LSC's tight handling, brutal V8 acceleration, and silent high-speed cruising. However, despite being a technological and performance masterpiece of the late 80s, the LSC is largely forgotten today. It fell victim to the shifting trends of the 1990s, overshadowed by the rising popularity of luxury SUVs and imported sports sedans. Yet vintage automotive enthusiasts who know its secret still fiercely admire the LSC as the ultimate velvet hammer, a true forgotten legend that hid fire-breathing Mustang power behind a sleek Lincoln grille. The 1980s may be remembered as a dark time for automotive performance, but as these 8 incredible machines prove, true V8 power never really died. It just put on a tailored suit and learned to whisper. These cars proved that 1980s American luxury vehicles were fully capable of serious performance, blistering highway speeds, and tire-smoking torque, all despite the suffocating restrictions of the era. They became forgotten legends, hiding incredible V8 power right in plain sight. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these hidden V8 luxury cars surprised you the most? Is there another fast 1980s American luxury car that should have made this list? Let us know down in the comments below. If you loved this deep dive into vintage automotive history and want to uncover more forgotten legends of the open road, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We have plenty more classic car stories coming your way. Until next time, keep your foot on the gas and keep the classics alive.